Hi, this is Mike making my video at 6:30 a.m. and it's 3/7/2025. Uh, basically, um, I'm making this video to talk about things that are prevalent in my life. Uh, I talk about AI and how it is replacing the workforce. Um, I got to the point in life where I commend AI. It's just most people uh, can't survive without having stable employment, and that's kind of a thing. Where AI is replacing everything. It's replacing all the jobs. Uh, there's a lot of tech jobs that are being eliminated, and with that being said, there's all kinds of things that people have today that are a result of automation and AI. I used to be an auto worker, and I worked at a factory, installing the axles on trucks. And I've seen the whole dynamics of how things go as far as uh, building vehicles, and it's gotten to the point where they're replacing a lot of employment with AI. So with that being said, I see that a lot of unskilled workers, people without educations, or even people with educations, they find that their jobs, their credentials are obsolete, and people just can't seem to figure out ways to improve their environments as far as the workforce goes. So with that being said, there's really nothing left as far as that goes. As far as the workforce goes. So you think about it. Like a lot of uneducated people. What are they gonna do uh, as far as employment goes? I've taken major losses. Uh, just recently, I got a motorcycle, a camper, and a pickup truck that I lost the titles for, and I can't recoup the losses with those vehicles, so I had to find some other source to recoup them losses. So, I mean, if you think about it, I just had a stint with going to the hospital, stuff like that, and I was getting paid the whole time I was in the hospital, and plus my, I was, or the rent basically was being paid for, so figure 1 month's worth of rent uh, is $1,400, and you got to figure 2/3 of the rent is $1,000, and then basically 2/3 of my income is $2,000, so that's about $3,000. Uh, I received with that, so that basically covered the cost of my vehicles, and I was able to get away from things. I wasn't able to pay the rent, and I was able to get away, and here I sit, basically with you know with what I've got. So I really didn't come out ahead necessarily because I lost um, those items, but basically I was able to break even. So anyway, that's how that works. But you think of automation, and you think of people that have they got to pay rent, and they have to pay different things like that. So they more or less have it to where they have what they've got, and a lot of people. I look outside, and I see hundreds of cars drive by every morning, and out of those cars, they're usually new cars for the most part, and not to mention, these cars are anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 a piece for a used one, and upwards of $50,000 a piece, 60,000, 100,000 for a new one. And you look at what people spend, just in a given day. They have their coffee, but they can't, drink coffee out of a coffee pot. They have to have special Starbucks coffee, or they have to have special toilet paper to wipe their ass, and or like special little pieces of fruit, and stuff like that. So they have that, and then they have to have the newest computer, which is thousands of dollars. Where I pay $60 for a computer, and then you go to sell something and nobody wants to pay anything for it. They try to hustle you. They try, like, I just had a guy. I had a bunch of cameras for sale, and he offered me $20 per camera, and he was talking about buying the entire shipment of cameras at $20 a piece. So he was willing to pay $2,000 for 100 cameras, and each one of these cameras, retail for anywhere from, on the low end, from $500 upwards of $800 to $1,000 a piece. So let's just say $1,000 a piece, and he wants 100 cameras. So he wants $100,000 worth of cameras for $2,000, and then he probably try to whittle me down even from there. So I just had no respect and absolutely no regard for people like that. So you get some lowballer that comes in that wants to buy everything for nothing, and they can go to hell and burn. That's the way I feel about it. So anyhow, that's my sentiments on that stuff. I really don't have any respect for people like that, but you see that people have to have their new car and you get a 20-year-old woman that can't even lift a 5-gallon pail of water up, that wants to have, you know, a $500,000 house, and between that and then of course another $500,000 for all the property that they have. So they more or less want $1,000,000 worth of stuff, and they think that their pussy is so valuable that people will pay an exorbitant amount of money for it, and they'll bend over backwards. And the whole truth of the matter is nobody wants to pay that kind of money, and nobody really cares. They got, you look at, pornography and stuff like that, and it's got everything. It's got everything on there already. So what is the big draw that people have? That, I mean, I can watch a pornography and get off or whatever, and then then what? What else is there? And then you got to figure. Stop this pretty soon, but so you think, what more is there? You think about it, and you think about that, and you think about what's the point in getting married? When half the stuff you pay for, half the things that you work for will be taken away from you in a divorce. You got alimony, you got palimony, and of course you have a child, and then you're working all the time, and you figure, well, what draw is there from that? You have a kid that you'll never see, or sparingly see if you're working all the time to pay for the kid, and you got to figure all that money that's going out the door, and then you got to figure you have a kid, and the kid doesn't respect you, and the kid doesn't want to see you, and then what? So I got my kids, they're paid for, and I really have zero desire to have more kids. So okay, so there's that. Then you go to a job, and then you have to where you're working all the time, and then you figure, well, you're only making $20 an hour working for some glass company or something, and it's enough to pay the bills, to buy food or whatever, and shelter over your head, and maybe some cheap transportation. But then you figure you're doing that your whole life, and then what? What else is there? So you figure the only thing that truly makes any sense is to let go of everything and not be part of the rat race. You think, there really isn't anything anymore. So, the juice isn't worth the squeeze, and you figure all that effort goes into something that you're wasting your time on. And much to be said, about certain relationships and certain things, certain types of investments, they're just a waste of money and waste of time. And you got to figure your sanity is worth something, and that's about all there is to it, So, really, I can see why people are dropping out and they don't want to take part in it anymore. They don't want to be part of the rat race. They don't want to be part of it. So, anyway, that's all I got to say. Over and out.